Hey Flamelinkers, welcome to our next Flamelink tutorial. In this video we'll cover how to create a schema in Flamelink, a headless CMS for Firebase. We'll also cover how to edit your schema details as well as how to add, sort and customize fields. Okay, let's get started. The schema builder allows you to structure your content or data in the most optimal way for your app. Flamelink Schema Builder offers you complete freedom to choose the type of fields you need, the order in which you need them, and the validation you require. An easy way to think of Flamelink Schema Builder is as a tool to create templates for your data. There are 3 types of schemas for different purposes, all of which are reusable. Remember, Flamelink is a content management tool that works well for both web and mobile applications. But for the purposes of this tutorial, let's imagine you using Flamelink to build a website with a blog. Then you'd use the schemas as follows. First up, collections. This is a set of data that has the same structure. Use a collection to create blog posts so that individual posts will be stored under the schema and every post will have the same schema layout. Then, single types. This single content type has a unique content structure and differs from one structure to the next. So, if you were building website pages, the About page would have different data inputs compared to, say, the Contact Us page, and therefore each of them would be regarded as a single content type. Then we have forms. This is a typical data capturing form, like a contact form, to be filled in by the user. You can also set permissions for your schemas so that only certain users or user groups have access to specific schemas. Pretty easy, huh? First up, let's create a new schema. Now there are 2 ways to create a new schema once you've opened your project. Select the new content schema block or button on the top right corner of the projects or schema screens. Then, fill in your schema's main details. In this step, the schema details block will open up, allowing you to complete the following schema information. The first schema detail information is required is title. This is the name you choose to refer to your content type as. Examples of this would include the home page, contact page, and about us page, so on and so forth. Next up, we have the schema ID. This is automatically generated and corresponds with your title. You can change this if you prefer to do so, but it should be unique for all of your schemas. Please note, this schema key becomes non-editable after you've created your schema the first time. This ID is used to reference your data from the relevant schema or content type in the Flamelink SDK. Let's move on to the description. This is a short description to explain what the content type or schema is. This is purely for your own reference. The last schema detail you get is type. As mentioned earlier, there are 3 types of schemas or content types to choose from: single, collection, and form. You can also group multiple single schemas together. You cannot group your collections. When typing in your group name, make sure it's exactly the same as your current group name, if that already exists, as this field is spelling and case sensitive. If the group does not already exist, a new group will automatically be created simply by typing the required name in this field. This is purely for organizational purposes, to make keeping track of shed loads of single schemas a little bit easier. At the bottom of the details form, you also have 2 toggles to sort or enable the schemas. The sortable toggle is when you have a collection schema type. Under the content section, you will be able to sort which entries should be positioned under which. So if you're creating a blog, for example, under blog categories, if you have different categories, say tech, the subcategories like programming and hardware, you can use this feature to sort and save your entries in the order you prefer. Enabling or disabling the schemas will allow it to be visible or not visible under the content section. Now that you're done populating the relevant schema details, select the Save button on the top right of the screen to confirm and save your changes. Once you've done that, let's add some fields to our schemas. This allows you to structure your content specifically for your requirements. We built Flamelink in such a way that you'll have the complete freedom to choose the fields you need and order them as required, customized to your project's specific needs. That's pretty nice if you ask me. Select Add Fields positioned at the top of the screen next to Schema Details. All available fields that can be added to your schema will be visible in a 2-column grid. Standard templates have already been created for you, should you prefer to use them. Each of these fields in these templates can be edited according to your requirements and preferences. We'll get to that in a moment. Drag and drop the required fields from the orange setting panel to the blank preview panel on the right. Alternatively, double-click the field or template group in the orange settings panel on the left. to add it to the blank preview panel on the right side. Once you've successfully added the field, a green check mark will be visible in the top right-hand corner of the field. Thumbs up. You can also sort the fields to your preference. Move your cursor over the relevant field to be moved till the cursor hover state changes to the black move icon. Click, drag, and drop the field in the correct place. Once you've done adding the relevant schema fields, select the Save button to the top right of the screen to confirm and save your changes. As an added option, you could add any validation rules for each field. Please note you don't need to edit the fields if you've already set them up the way you wanted when you first created them. This edit functionality is merely available to you should you wish to make changes to your setup. After adding the fields or template to your schema, select your first field. This will open the Edit Fields view. All the fields you added will still be visible on the right side of the page. However, the selected field will be highlighted and its details screen is now visible on the left in a 2-column layout. You can now customize each field in your schema according to your needs and preferences. For example, the schema field's title, description, layout, validation rules, etc. Once you're done adding the required validation to the relevant schema fields, select the Save button on the top right of the screen to confirm and save your changes. You can also toggle the Show in Overview Table switch to allow the user to define which fields they want to show in the table of entries when viewing your entries in the table view. Okay, so now you should be all set to set up your content schemas, edit your schema details, as well as add, sort, and customize fields. If you found this video helpful, please remember to like, subscribe, and share it with other Firebase users. Till next time, see ya.